YouTubes, it's Jackpot Ninja here again. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a base tour of my Halloween base that I built for Zane's Halloween Hootenanny. So Zane set a planet for us to build on, and obviously we had to get it done before Halloween. So there was a bit of a time factor involved in this one, and I did my usual trick of building on top of a pre-existing building. The height of this building has shifted about 2 or 3 times during the build, so you'll notice there's a few weird height issues, and occasionally the ground disappears out from under this. So you can see there should be a ramp down from the front door down to where the ground used to be. So anyway, this is a staircase up to my base. So this ladder here, this used to meet with where the floor plate is, and now I actually disappear through the ground when I try and climb the ladder. And as I go up, you'll see I built my tower on top of this transmission tower, and there's actually this huge gap now. These triangles in here used to actually be inside this. So I built a spiral staircase, but that triangle wouldn't place at all, so I've had to skip that one, despite all the other ones fitting perfectly. So this spiral staircase leads up towards the base, but there's a big gap in the middle, so this is quite hard to navigate, and if you fall off, it's a long way down to the ground and it's a long way back up. So we try and do this carefully, which is why I added the warning to say that the stair is a bit problematic to navigate. So this teleporter takes us up to the main base build. So it drops us into this glass box, and if you have a look around you can see the rest of the tower. So I put these little torture chambers in, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, so I've decided to make it into like a puzzle base, so you have to try and work out how to get out. So it's like an escape room puzzle base. And it's got this big twisty tower. This goes outside so you can see down to the ground. There's little lanterns to guide the way. There's the spooky jellyfish. That also stops you getting out into the main bit of the building. It blocks off a little exit that I was using while I was building. Now these glass rooms have sort of glitched through the floor and they're slightly out of alignment with where they were supposed to be. But I have figured out how to correct this. But due to the time issues involved, I've not been able to fix that, so this drops us down into the room below. And then what was supposed to happen here was, as you followed the arrows along, each green light would light up one at a time, but because the wiring goes through the side of the room, all the rooms power on instantly. So, but these bits still work, so I'm quite happy with those. And then you can see the exit, but you can't get to it. And if you look up, there's this little curved tunnel thing here. You can jump through and drop down. You can follow the arrow as long as you don't get stuck inside this doorway, which is way too low because of the problem with placing the original rooms. And there's a sneaky bit out here that you can't get through anymore, but I use that for when I was building as well, as an exit out the maze. If you jump on here, it drops you through a teleporter and you come out. So there was going to be much more of a puzzle element involved, and then once you're out, you're locked out and you can't get back in again unless you trigger the floor on the way past. So it's not much of a puzzle base now I've finished it. Yeah, this ladder used to go through the floor. So it took me several hours to build that, and it is really simple. I was going to have an underground section that was going to be underneath the base with a maze, and I was going to have a puzzle involving rolling the ball around to try and trigger some floor panels. It was going to go in the main section. But yeah, I just ran out of time. I was like, I'm going to hit upload, otherwise I'm just a bit having fun. So I was going to do some more spooky decorations, and each section was going to have a little message board and clue as to what to do next. So yeah, I think it's probably one of the quickest builds I've ever done, because I am really slow and methodical. I've been working on the Zeppelin build for about 2 or 3 months now. So we'll go through the loop again. So you're trapped in the little glass room. This is better. Now the storm's not as intense. You can actually see out, because the closer the storm is, the brighter these lights are, and the less you can actually see around. So you can see the interior of the base. I was going to have this all lit up and decorate it all, but yeah, again, time constraints ran out. And I was going to do a lot more with these the glass floors where you can see through to the ground below. So we'll run through again. So there's a little corridor section up here, and this goes outside of the building. You get to see the jellyfish twice as you go through. So I was going to make this go significantly further away from the edge of the building. In fact, I wonder if I can still get up and out through... we switch to the build camera. I think I can navigate the camera through, and we can have a look inside the structure of the building. So all these roof panels, these were a nightmare to glitch in. There's no corners on that bottom section, it's all straight panels. I was thinking about having a one of the underwater circular rooms at the top with a circular glass tunnel down into the centre that was going to drop you into the glass room in the middle. So that's why that was positioned there. There's going to be a tower up here where you're going to start out, like a little lighthouse section. So, but I'm really glad for how these turned out. This circular bit. It makes me think of the water slide at Pond's Forge, where it comes out the side of the building. So that's kind of fun. So I think that might be something I'll use again in the future. Oh yeah, the other thing is, all of these I'm working with are upside down. So this is, I had to flip the rooms to make this work so that you would be in an entire glass room at the start, and all of these ones in here, this little glass corridor along here. Oh yeah, I couldn't put the glass panel back in, that was it. I was working on trying to get this to fit back in, because I took it out to build this section here. So that was one of my other ideas, was I was going to make this bit go up further so that this bit was inside of the loop, but it just wouldn't fit. That's all because of the error when I was placing these bits originally. You'll see the floor, the cuboid rooms snap through the floor there, so they're all slightly out, and they're all across to the right hand side from where they should have been. And this is the other half of the spiral staircase that I never finished off. So that's the spiral staircase to nowhere, but you can get back in the room through that. Yeah, I will do, Aurora. Okay. Yeah, I am doing a video. Okay. Yes, the audio is on. Okay. And you don't want to talk now, the audio's on. Alright. So yeah, you can get back inside the room. So I've got all these little torture chambers that I got set up. And I was going to have like a seating area in here and stuff. But yeah, this is a chamber where you start off. And then yeah, you end up in this section here. I also wanted to have a big drop here so that you would fall through the doors and you'd be free falling for a bit before you hit the teleporter. But I just couldn't get it to line you up every time, so I kept missing the teleporter and falling all the way to the ground, and then it's a long way back up again. Right, so let's just go back through again. So we got up to the jellyfish bit, we'll drop down to this section. The lights go. It's a real shame I couldn't get this bit to work. I tried light floors underneath as well, but then I couldn't get a glass floor here because I'd laid all the pattern out already. So yeah, there's a few things where I'm like, if there wasn't a time element involved, I could have done it better. I do like this bit where you get to the glass wall and then it's like you can't get through. You can see where you need to go, but you can't get past it. And if you walk this way, the little blue light comes on through the door and you can see the arrow pointing you the way out. But if you look up where the green light is, you can see the up and over and you can jump through. So that teleports us into here, and this was going to be another one of the this was going to be another glass box that you had to work out how to escape. So what I was going to do here was I had a biofuel reactor, and you had to fly up, and there was going to be a carbon planter above to get some carbon from to put in the biofuel reactor to open the door. But that bit didn't work either. So at the moment what happens is, oh yeah, you can also do that. If you go back up into the teleporter, it just puts you back where you were and into the drop. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing. I've added the biohazard decal, so I've only just unlocked that. For a while the teleporter was bringing me out over here because I didn't want people to be climbing the tower and trying to get into there. Theoretically, you shouldn't be able to get into there because it should be locked whenever there's not someone inside. But if you come round here and you come in close enough to the edge, oops, you can trigger the door from the outside. One of the other things I tried was coming cabin again. There's a cave up here. This was going to be the exit. And I was going to have a glass room inside here. And you're going to have to come up this lots of potential. But yeah, the longer I've worked on this, the weirder this area's become. So that hole in the ground keeps reappearing. I filled that in with the terrain manipulation, it keeps coming back. The building flips between being partially buried and above the ground. So anyway, I've called it Te Twisty Tower of Te Erra, which I thought was quite amusing. So anyway, there we are. That's my base build. Hopefully a few people are going to come and try it out and they'll like it. Possibly. Oh yeah, I've got this guy here, he's always wandering around inside. Looks like a little pet. So yeah, I'm going to go and check out some of the other bases now and see what everyone else has come up with. But yeah, that's the end of my broadcast. I'll see you another time.